In 3, 2, 1.
What's going on YouTube? This is yours truly, Dre the Plug, coming at you live with some more technical heat. I'm gonna just jump right back into my solo videos. I got plenty of people that keep hitting me up saying, when are you gonna get back into, doing the electronic reviews? I got companies, sponsorships that I just been putting on hold because of all of the interviews. They're like, when are you gonna get right back into the lab and, review some of our products? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna just go back to doing my normal solo videos. Definitely go check out all the interviews that I pretty much dropped of a lot of other engineers from all across the country. But I'm about to get right back into it. I'm gonna get right back into this technical heat. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button below. Make sure y'all hit that bell below so y'all can stay notified every single time I drop new technical heat. Besides that, let's get into it, man. I'll roll the clip. What's going on YouTube? It's yours truly, Dre the Plug, coming at y'all with some new technical heat. We're gonna jump into our Detroit auto show that we went to. It happens out here in Detroit every year. And I have Jose, he's also an engineer, an electrical engineer too at that. We're just gonna jump into our review of some of these exclusive cars that we've seen.
What's up everyone? As Andre mentioned, my name is Jose Camarena. I am an electrical engineer. I'm from Reno, Nevada, and I graduated from UNR. Go Wolfpack. And I'm at General Motors as an engineer because I love working with cars. Anything with wheels is really cool to me. So to go with that, we checked out the Detroit Auto Show. It had a lot of futuristic cars. So you're gonna hear some of our thoughts on those cars, and let's get into it.
Alright, so in this video, we're gonna jump into some of the futuristic cars that we actually stumbled across when we was at the Detroit Auto Show. We're gonna just give our reaction, our review of each one. You guys can also, give your review down in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think about it. A lot of these I've never seen online, never seen any pictures. Only in person is when I've seen some of these vehicles. So let me know what you guys think. And in the mix of it, we also gonna talk about some of the stuff Jose do at work and some of the stuff that I do at work. All right, so immediately the thing that really jumped out to me is the fact that the front is all see-through and like how far it is coming down, how see-through it is. I like the transparency. It just look way more futuristic. Like a lot of the front end is usually covered. And then the wheels just stand out to me. It's just like they're just so...
Imagine hitting a pothole in those. That would be crazy.
And then I don't see a wheel, so I'm guessing this is one of those autonomous vehicles. And I like how it opened too, like the doors, the top roof, it just looked like a grand open.
Yeah, it's got like suicide doors. This is a car that it's inviting you to just jump in and just kind of chill instead of focusing on driving. It's more just like maybe trying to get some work done, watching some Netflix. This is definitely a car that you just get in and take off with no worry.
It definitely scream luxurious for sure.
Bruce Wayne maybe. So this car seems like a more family-oriented car than the last car we saw. Still from Lincoln. It's still got that very inviting, like luxurious lounge type feel. What stands out to me is obviously the color. It's a really sweet type of purple, very matte. And that roof is really nice.
I really like the seats. Like it looks like a gamer type of a professional gamer chairs, how they usually have like all the cushion all around the main parts, like their shoulders, their back, the neck. Especially look at the ones in the back seat. Like just look at how big the headrest is. And that's taking up everything. You're gonna be perfectly fine. Might as well have like what, one of them airport pillow cushions. That's what it looked like, the ones in the backseat for sure.
Yeah, I'll pass out back there for sure.
All right, Jose. So how did you get into General Motors?
Yeah, so I always gravitated towards cars as a kid. You know, I like anything with wheels on it. And, you know, they always tell you to do something that you're passionate about for work. And that way it doesn't seem like work, you know. So I started looking for jobs, going to conferences. One of the big ones was SHIP. And I think through the SHIP database, GM was able to grab my email. They sent me an email. They're like, hey, we're looking for engineers. I immediately applied, and it was one of the best things I did, because that way I was able to combine my passion for cars and work as an engineer, which I also feel very passionate about. And I think the combination of Metro Detroit and General Motors exposed me to the background of the car industry, which has been super cool so far. All right, I'm gonna throw the Uno reverse card, Andre, and ask you the same question. How did you get into General Motors?
So interesting fact, right? So a lot of people don't even know this. Originally, I already had like another job lined up. I was supposed to go back to California and work at Intel. But what ended up happening was I went to a conference. One of my friends was just telling me, Andre, you got to go to the conference and just go, because it was like special. He was just saying like so many things you have to do. And I went to it. It was in Oklahoma. And long story short, I got inside the line for General Motors, and I just so happened to write a paper because I was taking a business class. And I wrote a full-fledged paper about current events that pretty much goes on with tech. That was like one of our assignments every week, to just talk about a current event that pretty much is going on with business that's happening at the moment. So I kind of pitched that to the recruiter, wasn't even thinking about anything of it, and it was just so shocked and surprised. It was like, dang, half of this stuff we don't even know about right now, so you got an interview. So that was pretty much that. That's how I ended up getting in with General Motors.
Sweet. You know, Andre, I'm looking at this. I don't know what to call it. It's like a humongous drone slash helicopter. I remember when I saw it, though, it's 100% electric. And it just makes me wonder like what its purpose is, if it's, you know, for military, or maybe getting emergency supplies to a remote location. But I will say one thing for sure is that the like front propellers, they kind of look like air fryers. You know, I don't know if I'm just hungry or something, but that's what they look like to me. What are your thoughts on this?
It looked like somebody got an airplane and then they got a drone and they just combined the two together. That's really what it looked like. Especially looking at the propellers in the front, it looked real futuristic. So I definitely would like to know what's the differences between a mini plane and a drone compared to these two. Like, what are the differences? Like, what are the advantages, right? Because nobody will really want to make anything that would be something that would be a drawback. So it has to be something going on that's moving it to that next level, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
The lyric.
Yeah, honestly, this is probably one of my favorite EVs coming out of GM right now. It's the one I recommend to people looking for a family EV car. I actually worked on it a little bit, so I was able to play with some of the interior. One thing that GM is really pushing with this is the one pedal driving experience, which essentially it's a setting where you don't have to use the brake. The motors kind of brake for you and regenerate that power back to the battery. Of course, if you don't like that, I'm pretty sure you could change the settings. You can actually change the settings. I did see a video on it, but overall, yeah, I really like this car.
I love the commercial for this vehicle. It shows all of the tech from like different angles, and I feel like that's super different compared to what's usually displayed, right? You usually just get the car driving, but this one, they showed off all the tech in the inside. You know, I love that technical heat. That's definitely the Escalade B series, not the electric version. I love the color. That's that candy red. That's what we call it in Houston. That specific color red. That's that candy red.
Yeah, man. This is the V series. This is a very special car. This is the big boss and that's because it shares the V8 supercharge from the CT5 Blackwing. So this thing moves, man, and if you are able to pick one of these up, you have to spec it out with everything. And you don't have a choice. It comes with like the night vision module, massaging seats. This is the top of the hill for Escalade. So this is the Buick Wildcat, and I think this is a very important car for Buick because it's a representation of where Buick is taking their brand. For example, we have a new logo. It's definitely a more sportier car, and I think Buick is trying to appeal to that type of audience, also a younger audience. I'm not sure if we're gonna ever see this car, but it would be pretty cool.
So something that's in the future. I actually worked with some of the engineers about this specific vehicle, and what's really crazy about it. All right, so let's jump into Track. So within GM, Track is their version of their rotational program. So it's different ones. For mine, when I jumped into it, they pretty much give you about 4 to 6 months of different job positions that you can get into. You're not locked in instantly into one full-time role. You're still technically full-time, still getting paid full-time, but you just rotate after every 4 to 6 months or so. You get 6 months if you sometimes you could squeeze it and kind of switch out a little bit more in some cases, but ideally it's about 4 months. And I would say it was pretty good, definitely the best decision I made. A lot of companies, they'll usually say if you want to get in a rotational program, you have to get your master's with it. But at General Motors, they pretty much said you could instantly just do a rotational program so you don't even have to worry about your master's, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, and for the service engineering side of GM, we did our track rotation a little differently. Through feedback, I think 6 months for some employees was not enough time to, get situated and really learn your role. So they did a year-long rotation for ours, and it's in total it's a 2-year rotation. So you get 2 positions, and I agree with that. You really need a year to learn your role and network with your team, right? And yeah, I highly encourage a rotational program. You have the reassurance that you get to try something else and overall expand your network.
Yeah, definitely a gripe that I had was the fact that some of the roles, it's almost impossible for you to really understand the role in only about 4 months. But besides that, will I go back and do another job and just jump in full time coming out of college? No, I definitely will still do a rotational program for sure.